speak to here today to you about generative AI in Dutch mathematics classrooms. Oh, so maybe a pointer.
So we have to press down.
Okay. Doesn't? Yes. So I've already been introduced. So we'll skip that one. This is a picture of a recent topic in a local newspaper. It says teachers embrace AI in the classroom. And then the article speaks about the opportunities and then the downfalls of using AI. So the downfalls are mentioned, that one of the downfalls that are mentioned is the hallucinating of generative AI when students use it as a tutor. So, in the Dutch classrooms in 2027, it will be mandatory to teach students about digital literacy in secondary education, lower secondary education. For instance, using computational thinking strategies to solve problems in another subject than computer science. And the student has to be able to explore the possibilities and the downfalls of AI. Okay, I will say something about the current projects that I am working on AI. I have more projects, but I will focus on AI for you today. And on the left, at the top left, Plug the Data. There's a project that I've been in the lead about integrating computational thinking and generative AI into different subjects, school subjects. On the right, there is a project that just started and that we haven't yet started yet, so I will not elaborate on that one. It's about helping citizens, not only students, but regular citizens, to become AI literate. And on the bottom, I developed a small group scaffolding tool that is a tool in which you can help small groups of students discussing mathematics, and that the teacher can help them, adapted to the level of understanding of the group. I use that in regular classrooms, but now I have also incorporated AI in the sense that AI simulates the small groups discussion, and then the novice teachers, the pre-service teachers can try to apply the tool, because it's a tool that helps teachers to scaffold small groups. And another one, the second one, is about AI, so generative AI, simulating the teacher when scaffolding. So students ask questions to the GenAI, and they will become scaffolded at group level. In the first project, in which computational thinking and generative AI were integrated into different school subjects, I was in the lead together with Bert Bredeweg on the right bottom. Dr. Marjolein van Dekke, Albert Lochtenberg, they developed lessons for history. Martijn Koek and Josephine Sweep developed lessons for the Dutch language. And Dorrit Penning developed lessons for physics, Marco Krachten for biology. The others are for dissemination reasons. Well, what's computational thinking? In 1980, Simon Papert introduced the term in his book, Mindstorms. And then in 2006, you might be aware that Janet Wing stated in a Fission article that computational thinking should be just as arithmetic and reading should be one of the fundamental skills for all students. So all children should learn computational thinking together with arithmetic and language. So the research question was, which learning objectives, what kind of methods, what kind of technology is necessary for students to use computational thinking when learning their subject? I used a model from Calor et al. And the model has 4 phases. In the first phase, a domain-specific problem, for instance, in biology, is translated to a computational model. Then a computational solution is found for the problem. And then students have to go back to the domain-specific, so biology, and to reflect on the solution that they have found. So these are the lessons that were created. Biology used lessons to determine for a COVID virus which ancestor was involved, using algorithmic thinking. For history, historical data was used to determine whether women in the past were working or not. For the Dutch language, generative AI was used to write poems, and students were asked to critically reflect on the quality of the poems that the generative AI created. Physics was about forces and dynamics. And for mathematics, for which I will elaborate, we focused on statistics. So for the first phase, there was a problem. You have a problem, and it's translated into data. The students were asked to perform their own research. They were asked to define their own research questions and to collect data and to analyze the data and make it visual. ChatGPT helped them to refine their research questions, because we noticed that students find it difficult to, I'm talking about 10th grade students, that even though they're 10th grade, they find it difficult to formulate research questions. So in the second phase, they were asked to, between 2 groups, to distinct between 2 groups, and then visualize it using a graph or a map. They were asked to ask ChatGPT a specific prompt. Which statistical text or visualization is appropriate for the variable that they had? They were asked to save the AI output and justify on their choices. In phase 3, they translated the results back to the domain-specific problem, so to statistics, and they were asked to make notes of expected findings, but more important, they were asked for examples of ChatGPT, from ChatGPT to write their essay, and they should be able to choose whatever sentences ChatGPT created, which one they found useful. So they were asked to critically reflect on what ChatGPT showed. One of my students, we co-designed the lessons with students, with teachers. One of my students from mathematics, he was the one who co-designed the lessons with me, together with 2 other former students of mine, Anna Gabisonia and Sanne Kosterman. And we also asked the students what they found about these lessons using generative AI, what I've learned, and they said that data can be qualitative and quantitative, which is nice because that's what they were having trouble with before. You can do a lot with data from not so many people. So they collected data from other classes, their students, all the things you can do with your computer, what they've learned. And one said, I love it, Mr. Stephen is the best teacher and is good at teaching and offering help. So that one is nice. I was saying that I was going to elaborate briefly on small group scaffolding tool and AI. This is the small group scaffolding tool. It was developed a few years ago. What it entails is when, say that my colleagues here are a group of students who are working on a mathematical problem, and one of them asks me a question, then the first step that is recommended by the tool, let me just check how long I have. 9 minutes, I'm going to well, on track. The first step is to determine whether a question is of one student in the group or of the whole group. Because if it's a question of one student, I can ask the other members of the group to help that student. So, and that's the lower part, so provide process support. When the whole group is stuck, there is a problem on the whole group, they need some kind of content support from me. I used to be a mathematics teacher as well. I taught 15 years at secondary school. So they need some content support from me, but then what kind of support do they need? Only a little bit of content support until they are able to discuss the matter on themselves further. And then I have to adapt. Scaffolding means adapt my support to the level of the group. So I first have to determine what the maximum level of understanding of the group is. So what is that you're working on? What have you done so far? And then I can give a little support. When one of you understands my support, I can say again, please help each other. And then we're back to step 6. Okay, so this is what you can do in the classroom. And now I have added the AI, the generative AI to it, together with my colleagues Sigal Rotem from University Utrecht and Maurice Holz from University of Amsterdam. And what we now have done is we just started a few months, so I have no results yet, but we're trying to build a local GPT that can simulate the scaffolding. So simulate a teacher that scaffolds a group. And then we are asking the generative AI, the local GPT, we're asking questions as if we were students. And then we expect so we're building it. We want the generative AI to give support according to the model. So according to this model with the steps. In the other project, we are working on having the generative AI simulate the group discussions of the students. So the group discussions of the students here, the student group here, we're trying to have them have the generative AI simulate that. And then pre-service teachers can learn how to scaffold small groups. That is the idea. And Kevin Lee is a student, a master student of mathematics. He is building on it, and Sigal and I are the daily supervisors. Ooh. That brings me to almost the end of my talk, because Kevin Lee, he's a student. Next year, there will be another AI for Education conference in Amsterdam. I will be hosting it at Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. We have, together with GU and other colleagues, we have a global contest for students on AI for Education. So students can submit their capstone, their projects, and we will be giving them we will be announcing which of the student groups or student will be the winner. And it will be announced at October 30. That will be the second day of the conference in Amsterdam. So I asked Kevin if he wants to submit the project about the AI and the scaffolding, and he said yes last night. So we have our first student group. So you are. I would like to ask you if you have students or student groups working on generative AI. You are very welcome to submit to the QR code is on the right. We call it Hackastone, Hack AI Stone. It's a combination of hackathon and capstone. So, thank you very much, and you're very welcome next year in Amsterdam.
Thank you, Sharon. I think we actually have 2 minutes. I'm wondering whether anybody have a question. Yes. Do you have a mic?
Hi, I have 2 questions. So the first question I have, especially for the small group discussions, is that you can, I guess, use the students can actually use for something like Gemini to just bypass all of the problem-solving process. So how do you deal with compliance issues from your student? And the other question is high-level governance question, because I believe that in Europe there is a fairly stringent regulation in terms of AI use in education. So how did you kind of, approach that problem?
Thank you for the questions. In the first, to answer the first question, we're building into the generative AI that it is not possible to go outside of the GenAI. So you have the possibility to upload articles, and we give the instructions to the generative AI to not give answers or not search beyond what we give to it. And for the second one, at University of Amsterdam, we have a local UvA AI chat, so a local chat that is private. So anything that you put into it, so for the privacy reasons, everything you put into it stays on the local server. So we're intending to extend that to schools, so that we don't have the problem and the strict regulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.